Two.
Hello and good day to you SGS employees. Thank you for watching this video. It's open enrollment for your benefits there at SGS, and because of COVID we're doing things differently this year. So we're going to shoot this video, upload it to YouTube. You'll get the link. Everything should be sent to you electronically. We've got packets that we've sent electronically to Lindsay, and then we just want you to call us with any questions. So the number here at the office, 783-8959. You can talk with Ashley Allen or me, either one of us. So let's get started. So first thing that you're going to see there as you open up your electronic package is just an open enrollment notice. Law requires every group to have open enrollment each year. So this just tells you that that it is open enrollment, that if you have questions there, ask Lindsay Westbrook. And then all the benefits change effective January 1. So, and when I say change, there's very little change. So we're not changing carriers, we're not changing plans. So the 4 plans that you have a choice of for 2020 are the same 4 plans, although Blue Cross tweaked some of them a little bit. So in your packet, you're going to have 4 different summaries of benefits and coverage. This is what the Affordable Care Act requires us to give you. So the first one that you're going to find hopefully is G651 CHC. So if that's not the first one pulls up, that's what I'm going to cover anyway. So G651 CHC. All right, this is the HSA plan. There are 12 of you on this. HSA standing for Health Savings Account. Under this plan, everything goes to your deductible with one exception. Preventive care checkup you can go get, pays 100%. You shouldn't pay anything for preventive care checkup. But other than that, every prescription, every lab test, every office visit goes to your deductible. Deductible is $3,000, but once you hit that, it pays 100%. So your maximum out of pocket, $3,000. That includes, every copay that you paid for prescriptions. Your deductible, even though the deductible is $3,000, theoretically, the first time you go pick up a prescription, your deductible will no longer be $3,000 because your maximum out of pocket's $3,000. So as you go through that, it basically just tells you no charge, no charge, no charge after the deductible. So health savings account, I love them. I was on one for 11 years. I encourage you to look at it. It's a place where you can tax shelter some money into what I call a medical IRA. All right? So you can put a pretty good chunk of money back there, and then you decide when you use it. So when you do have an office visit, you can use the debit card on that account to pay for that office visit with dollars that will never be taxed. You go get a prescription, you pay the copay, you can use your debit card to pay that copay, and then it will be dollars that will never be taxed. Or you can decide, I'm not going to use that money, I'm just going to put it into that HSA account, and every year you keep adding to it, and the account just grows and grows and grows, and it becomes maybe part of your retirement plan, a retirement account. Okay? So there's different ways of doing it. If you want to know about that, give me a call. Again, I was in one for 11 years, and I'm one of the guys. It's part of my retirement benefit. Had it, funded it for 11 years, and I've still not taken any money out of it because it's going to help fund when things slow down for me. The next plan right behind that is the G654. G654. Again, this is a very popular plan. There are 12 of you on this. It is a very rich plan. It's the G stands for gold. That tells you that this is a rich plan. So under the Affordable Care Act, they gave a metallic rating. So platinum being the richest, gold, silver, bronze. So the first 2 plans that we're talking about are gold plans. This is a $1,250 deductible. Once you meet that deductible, the plan will pay 80%. You pay 20% till you're out of pocket $5,000. One of the things that changed today in 2020, the maximum out of pocket on that plan is $4,500. So going into 2021, the Affordable Care Act changed each year. They index maximum out of pocket for 2020. Maximum any plan can be out of pocket $8,150. For 2021, it's $8,550. So Blue Cross went in and tweaked that. So while they did it, they also changed a few other things that will help keep the cost down. So also, again, you've got office visit copays today on that plan. It's $30 when you see your primary care doctor, $60 when you see a specialist. Beginning 2021, that 30 is going to be 40, that 60 is going to be 80. So again, once you've done that, the plan pays 80%, you pay 20%. They have added a couple of new copays. Hopefully most of you won't do that, but one of the big things that all insurance carriers are facing is people going to the emergency room when it's really not an emergency. And some of the reports we get show average cost of an ER visit of what they actually pay is in the range of $1,200. So if it's not an emergency, that means an urgent care center or maybe your doctor's office. Lubbock's got a lot of these clinics that are open, every day of the week. So we just want people to try to do that, and that's what they're trying to tell you. If you go to the emergency room, you got a $600 copay, then it's subject to your deductible, and then they start paying the 80%. They've also put on a facility fee. When you go into the hospital, there will be a $300 copay. And if you have outpatient surgery or anything like that, they have put also a copay in of $250. So prescription benefits is exactly the same. So if you're on this plan and you stay on this plan for next year, your RX copays will not change. When you go to the doctor, you'll see a small increase of 10 to go to see your PCP and 20 to see your specialist. So we're not going to beat the horse too long on that because it's pretty simple. If you have questions, call us, okay? Next plan that's in there is the S661. Now we're on a silver plan. First two were gold. This is a $3,000 deductible. There are 7 of you on this plan. So one thing I didn't say up front, SGS, very generous, is going to continue to pay 80% of the cost when you get to the rate page of this silver plan. So if you want the gold plan, you pay the difference. If you want to take the bronze plan, which we have one, then it'll save you some money because they're still going to pay 80% of the cost for the silver plan. So this is a $3,000 deductible. That did not change. Today it's got an $8,150 out of pocket because of the Affordable Care Act. It's moved up to $8,550. Office visit is not changing. It's still $50 for a primary care doctor, $80 for a specialist. They did add in some copays when you go for outpatient surgery. For emergency room, again, it's $600. If you check in the hospital, there's a $300 copay. But still, that maximum out of pocket only went up $400. So, and then on that plan, it pays 70%, you pay 30%, but your prescription card stays the same. So with that, you go to the doctor on the silver plan, you pick up a prescription on the silver plan, you won't know the difference between 2020 and 2021. Okay, the things they changed are going to be outside of that. All right, so if you have questions again, let us know. Lastly, the plan that only has 2 people on it, last year we put in an HMO. The first 3 plans we talked about are PPO. So in Lubbock, that's every facility. That can be Covenant, that can be UMC, that can be the Heart Hospital, that can be North Star Surgery Center. So that that has not changed. But when you get to the HMO, it is UMC Lubbock Heart Hospital. So, and I apologize for my phone buzzing in the background. In fact, I'll just turn it down. You can watch me do it. So, anyway, $8,150. This year is the maximum out of pocket. It's a $3,000. It's basically the same plan that we just went through. This is a silver plan with the $3,000 deductible. The $8,150 that you have today as maximum out of pocket is going to be $8,550. The office visits remain the same. The co-insurance remain the same. Again, they added the same copays of $600 for the ER, $300 when you actually check into inpatient hospital, $250 to have outpatient surgery. The biggest difference on this, it's about 32% cheaper than the PPO. So if you're carrying your dependents, you lower that dependent cost. SGS is going to continue to pay 80% of the cost for the PPO on the silver plan. So that just helps lower your overall cost. Biggest difference is this one where it requires you to get a referral to see a specialist. The network is UMC Lubbock Heart Hospital, so that means no covenant hospital, no covenant doctors. That's the biggest thing, okay? Again, call us with your question. Since it's open enrollment, if you want to migrate between one plan and the next, you can do that effective January 1. So if you decide you want on the HMO, you can do that effective 1/1, or if you decide you didn't like the HMO and you want to go back to PPO, again, you can do that, all right? So there is an enrollment form in the packet. We do not need that enrollment form back unless you're making a change. So that could be changing plans or adding dependents, dropping dependents. So other than that, you can make a paper airplane out of that enrollment form. Right behind that, we've put in a nurse line. So this is a benefit that a lot of people don't use. It's free. You can call and talk to a nurse just with general questions. I like to use the example because I'm old enough to know when things change. Let's just say you slid into second base, your ankle twisted, it's about twice the size that it should be. You don't think it's broken because you can't put your weight on it, but it's swollen and it hurts. Should you put ice on it? Should you put heat on it? Should you alternate it? Or maybe little Johnny's got a temperature. How high should it be before you get concerned? You're a new parent. Okay, you can call and talk to a nurse. They can't prescribe anything, but they can tell you exactly maybe what to do. So just do that, and that's good to have. Also, I just realized right in front of that was the MD Live. This is a telemedicine benefit where you can call and talk to a doctor 24/7, okay? Any day of the week from anywhere. So you could be on vacation down in the Bahamas, all right? And you've got all of a sudden a bad sore throat and a temp. You can call MD Live and talk to a doctor. They'll call you in a prescription if it's appropriate, all right? You do have to pay the primary care doctor office copay, but it's a great benefit. Keeps you out of the doctor's office, saves you the time, and again, it'll work from anywhere. 3 a.m. in the morning, somebody's got a temperature, you're throwing up, whatever, you've got diarrhea, you can call them. They can call you in a prescription. Here in Lubbock, we've got 2 pharmacies that are open 24 hours a day, so take advantage of that. Then you'll see right behind that, the rate page, there's all 4 plans. Find your age, and that's the cost. When you come down to the silver plan, which is at the very top, actually, so that is the plan that they'll pay 80% of. So you find your age, that's what they're going to pay. If you carry your dependents, that's what they're going to pay toward the dependent cost. So find those there. Right behind that, you're going to have your enrollment form. Again, we don't need that back here. If you're making a change, you need to get that to Lindsay. And then behind that are a bunch of notices that by law we have to give you, from HIPAA to COBRA to just the privacy things that go along with it. There's a CHIP notice in there, Children's Health Insurance Plan, that is for people with low income. So by law, we're supposed to give you notices, so look through those and call if you have any questions. So then moving forward into the dental insurance, we've got Principal Life, where we have dental, vision, we've got life insurance, short-term disability, long-term disability. Y'all have stellar benefits there. Let me say, SGS takes care of you guys. You may not realize it, but most employers, they don't provide long-term disability or short-term disability. So you've got that, and that's great. So the dental is staying exactly the same. The SGS pays 60% of the employee cost on that. So the rates are right behind that. The rates did not change, so that's not going up. $34.82 is what it costs for an employee. All right, SGS is going to pay $20.89, meaning you only pay $13.93 for a dental plan. And then if you want to carry your dependents, then you will pay the difference. So when you see that employee spouse of $71.80, you have to subtract out the $34.82 to find out what you're going to pay to carry your spouse. So again, the dental plan is not changing. Preventive care, there's no deductible, paid at 100%, as long as the charge is reasonable. When you get into the basic services, now we're talking about fillings and those type of things. then it does pay 80%. On y'all's plan, we've got endodontics and periodontics covered under basic. Some plans we put that under major, where it's paid at 50%, but not your plan. Makes it a little richer. So if you go in for a root canal, then you're going to see the difference there. There is a $50 deductible once per year per person. And then major is going to be, of course, your crowns, inlays, onlays. It's paid at 50%. Again, there's one $50 deductible per person, whether you meet that under basic or major. All right, so orthodontics is on there also for kids. $1,250 yearly maximum for all of the preventive care, basic stuff, major stuff. When you get into orthodontics, there's a $1,250 lifetime maximum. So look through that. There's the rates. Then next is voluntary vision. And again, this is voluntary. So if you want the vision coverage, you will pay for it. The cost is only $6.49 a month for an employee. If you carry your full family, $24.77. The rate page is next there in your packet. They use the VSP network, so you do have to use VSP to really get the full bang out of the thing. You can go to any doctor, eye doctor, for to have your eye exam, but if you don't go to a VSP doctor, they'll reimburse you $45. If you go to a VSP doctor, you pay $10 for an eye exam. So you can see there that it makes a big difference. The VSP network of doctors is really good here in Lubbock. It is our preferred vision network of all the ones that are offered. So there's your benefits. Call again. Nothing changed on it. The rates are exactly the same, and there are the rates. Then you'll see right behind that, y'all have short-term disability. You don't think about this because SGS pays it. You become disabled and you can't work, then this will pay on the first day of an accident, 8th day of sickness, and then it'll pay up to 13 weeks. Therefore, they call it short-term disability. It pays 60% of your pre-disability earnings, up to $750 weekly. Okay? So if you're going to be off work for quite a while, then short-term disability kicks in, and that really helps. And again, it's a benefit you don't pay for. Right behind that is long-term disability. Again, most employers don't furnish either one of those. Long-term disability kicks in after the 13 weeks. All right, so basically it has a 90-day elimination period. It'll pay 60% of your pre-disability earnings, up to $6,000 a month. So that's some major money, okay? And it comes in, you can have people disabled. I've seen situations where people will never go back to work, and they can be very young, and it'll pay those benefits all the way up to your normal Social Security age. Of course, it's going to coordinate if you start getting Social Security disability, all right? So under this plan, it'll pay for your own occupation up to 2 years. At the end of 2 years, they're going to say, can this person do something else or be trained? But they're just not going to cut you off and say no more. So good. Long-term disability, really, really important. You don't see many claims, but when they do, they can be humongous, okay? All right. Right, again, something else you don't think about, you've got group term life insurance provided for you. $25,000 worth of coverage. If you die by accident, it pays double. So $50,000 if you have a car wreck and you are killed. So again, that's just something that you don't think about because SGS pays for it for you. If you need to update your beneficiary, then do that now. All right, and then you will need that Blue Cross. No, you'll use the principal form. Pardon me. All right, so $25,000 worth of coverage that's through principal, and there is an enrollment form at the back of the thing. We want to make sure we've got updated beneficiaries. Over the years, I've had 2 or 3 situations to where they ended up paying maybe an ex-spouse because somebody didn't update their form, or maybe that was their plan. We'll never know once the person's dead. So just keep that in mind, and Lindsay, give those forms back to Lindsay. All right? So then right behind that, several years ago, we put in some voluntary term life. So if you wanted extra life insurance with the principal, you bought it in $10,000 increments. If you got it, you keep it. You don't have to do anything on any of this, re-enroll. So when new employees come in and go to work for SGS, they're offered this. It's guaranteed issue up to $80,000. So somebody could be a really brittle diabetic and have a hard time even getting life insurance. They can buy this up to $80,000. All right. So you can buy coverage on your spouse, also guaranteed issue up to $20,000. All right, but never more than half of what you buy. So if you want $20,000 on your spouse, that means you had to buy $40,000. You can buy it in $10,000 increments all the way up to $300,000. But anything over the $80,000, there will be some questions that you have to answer to prove that you are in decent health. But for those of you that have it, it's not changing. The rates are based on your age, so we've got the rate page in here. So find your age, and there's the rate. Those are in $10,000 units. So again, if you have any questions, call that. And then lastly is the principal enrollment form. All right. Again, we do not need this back if you're leaving everything the same. But if you got a beneficiary change, then you can do that. If you want to add the voluntary life, you can do that. You just have to answer health questions so we can get you an evidence of insurability form that would be necessary to go along with that. If you've just decided, hey, I want to add $100,000 worth of voluntary life insurance, the cost will come out of your check, but it's pretty simple, but we can help you do that even after the fact. It's guaranteed issue when they hire somebody there at SGS, but after you didn't take it, it's no longer guaranteed. All right, so there it is, total of everything. So hope you understand what we just went through, but if you don't, we want you to call us, and we really appreciate you watching the video and taking your time to do that. Any questions, you need to go back to Lindsay, and then of course you can call us if it's something she can't answer. So you guys have a great day, and thank you. Stay safe and stay well.